We are Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the Eta Zeta chapter here in Louisville, Kentucky. We are at Central High School where we are having a nonpartisan political forum. Thank you for joining us.
The people of Louisville deserve a mayor that will listen, that will offer opportunity, that will make sure the most marginalized get the resources they need. I'm here to tell you that I am the right choice because I've been working for you the whole time. I plan to be exactly who I campaigned to be. And every role I've taken in the city has been to serve and take care of people. On May 19th, this is too important for you to stay home. We need you to go vote for your future. Louisville, it is our chance to change the direction and to make it better. Louisville is better when we come together as community. Louisville, it's time.
This is brought to you by the people to elect Shamika Parrish Wright.
We are Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the Eta Zeta chapter here in Louisville, Kentucky. We are at Central High School where we are having a nonpartisan political forum. Thank you for joining us.
Smith, our Kentucky State Director, Dr. Ebony Muldrow, our Eta Zeta Chapter President, Mercedes Samuels, and our Eta Zeta Chapter members, and the Eta Zeta Social Action Committee. I would like to thank everyone for being here tonight and for your commitment to civic engagement in our community. My name is Kimberly Blackford French, and I am honored to serve as the moderator for tonight's Community Conversations Metro Council Candidate Forum, hosted by Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Eta Zeta Chapter. As members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, we understand that civic engagement and community advocacy are a part of our legacy. Our 5 founders were established Zeta Phi Beta in 1920 with a commitment to scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finer womanhood. And they believe that informed and engaged citizens are essential to healthy communities. Also in line with our initiative, the Extraordinary Power of She, which focuses on advancing social, health, and economic justice for women and families, our members are empowered to act on issues like equity, voting rights, community empowerment, particularly for women of color. And so local elections matter. I think over the past couple of years that we have seen this truth that elections have implications that affect us all. And the decisions that are made at the Metro Council level impact our neighborhoods, our schools, safety, housing, and the overall well-being of our city. And so tonight is an opportunity for residents from our city to hear directly from candidates who are seeking to serve our districts. So at this time, we would like to recognize and acknowledge all of our special guests and partners who helped make tonight possible. So at this time, I would like to call forth our Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Kentucky State Director, Dr. Ebony Muldrow.
Good evening, everyone. And welcome. I am Dr. Ebony Spencer Muldrow, and I have the pleasure of serving as the 16th Kentucky State Director under the leadership of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated's International President and CEO, Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant, as well as the Great Lakes Regional Director, Keisha D. Smith. It is my honor, this is my hometown too, by the way. It is my honor and pleasure to be with you all this evening. Your presence here tonight is an illustration that you are committed to seeing a difference in the city of Louisville and actually having your voice heard as well. You will hear from some dynamic candidates this evening. And candidates, I thank you all, each and every one of you, for coming tonight as well to speak to the public, to share your platforms and your concerns and your aspirations, as well as your goals for the city of Louisville. It's very important. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated is an organization that is community conscious and action oriented. And to my sorors of the Eta Zeta chapter here in Louisville, thank you for taking a step forward, to taking a stand, and holding a forum such as this tonight. I hope you all have some takeaways this evening. I hope you take a moment and maybe canvass for some of these candidates. Take some time, let's get out and work in the communities, because it takes more than just an evening like tonight. It takes more than these candidates speaking on their platforms. It's going to take action. And I'm asking that each one of you take away something that inspires you to action. And with that, I say good evening and thank you for having me, Eta Zeta. Good night.
I would like to also recognize a couple of other community partners who are partnering with us for this forum. I would like to recognize Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Amici of Louisville, and the National Panhandling Council. Thank you all for your partnership and for your commitment to civic engagement in our community. And I'd also like to thank Central High School for hosting us this evening and providing this wonderful space tonight. So at this time, we would like to introduce the candidates. We are, again, just grateful for the candidates who have taken time to participate tonight and to engage with the community. All of the candidates who are running for Metro Council in Districts 1, 3, 5, and 7 were invited to participate in our forum. So tonight, we have these wonderful candidates who have decided to join us. I want to name all of the candidates who are running for district council seats, but then also at the same time introduce those who are with us tonight. So from District 1 tonight, she is on her way from my understanding. We will have tonight candidate Jeree Gardner. Who is not with us tonight is Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins. From District 3, we have with us tonight candidate Kumar Rashad, candidate Sean Spencer, and then who is not with us tonight is former Councilwoman Keisha Dorsey. From District 5, we have with us tonight candidate April Hearn, candidate Wallace Gardner, candidate Ray Barker, and then we have with us incumbent Councilwoman Donna Purvis. And then also from District 7, we have with us Councilwoman Paula McCraney. Not with us tonight is candidate Catherine Catton. So can we give all of our candidates a warm welcome? My apologies. My apologies. So we also have with us tonight candidate Dave Duncan from District 5 as well. So let me explain how the purpose of tonight's forum. Tonight's forum is not a debate. Our goal, again, is to provide a space where candidates can introduce themselves, share their perspectives, and talk about the issues that they believe are most important for our community, as well as engage with relevant questions from the community. So our hope is that tonight, it will help all of us to become more informed voters and provide an opportunity for meaningful engagement with the candidates. So tonight's forum will work in the following way. I will ask a series of moderated questions. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to each question, and then they will pass the mic to the next candidate. As time permits, we will take a few questions from the audience. To keep things fair for all candidates, we will be strict about the time so that each candidate has the same opportunity to speak. We do have timekeepers in the front who will hold up a sign to give a 20-second warning and then another sign when time is up. Again, audience members are welcome to submit questions for this evening. And so if you have a question, please raise your hand and one of our ushers will bring you a pen and a blue index card. We do ask that you write your question using clear print so it is readable. If we can't read the question, we can't ask your question. And because of time limitations, not every audience question may be asked, but again, we do appreciate your participation. Once you have finished writing your question, one of our Zeta or Zeta Amica ushers will collect the card. And at this time, we also do ask that you would please silence your cell phones as well. So now we will begin with candidate introduction. So each candidate will have 1 minute to introduce themselves and then to share what led you to run for Metro Council.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kumar Rashad. I'm coming to you from District 3. I'm a 20-plus year math teacher at Breckenridge Metropolitan High School. In 2024, I was named the Kentucky High School Teacher of the Year. And that's really because a lot of the work that I do with mentoring young folk, that's really my passion. It's always been my passion. Even before I started teaching, I was mentoring in other different capacities. I've also served my district as a former councilman in 2023, doing a lot of great work there. I've served my district also as the alcohol beverage control administrator for the city of Shively. And I got 20 more seconds, so I'm just really here just to uplift family values and just thank you. My name is Kumar Rashad.
He answered to the height challenge, so I'm going to raise up here so I'll have to adjust it for everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Spencer. I'm a Metro Council District 3 candidate. My background extends from being a proud South Louisville product. I grew up in the area and I currently live in the area. So for me, when we talk about experience, my lifelong experience is this area. I am a historical volunteer, everything from child safety to senior citizens, to community engagement, to real estate acquisitions for the community, you name it, I've done it. My experience has been well-rounded. My profession is human resources, and as a human resource profession, I look at the equality of everyone. Should have put my glasses on so I could see over there. So my background looks at the equality, and right now, District 3 is not getting the equality it needs. So I am running to make sure that we're on the forefront, we're properly labeled, and that we're able to receive the dollars that we deserve. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Duncan. I am running for Metro Council District 5. I am a lifelong Louisvillian. I reside in the Chickasaw area, and I've been in West Louisville for the majority of my adult life. I have an education degree from University of Kentucky, and what brought me to this decision is I work a lot with at-risk youth, and I just feel like there's a lot in our community that can be addressed that isn't currently being addressed, and I would like to put myself in a position to be able to allocate resources to get the young folks moving in the right direction, and that's why I'm here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is April Hearn, and I'm running for Louisville Metro Council in District 5. That is Shawnee, Chickasaw, Portland, and a little bit of the Russell areas. The reason I am running is simple. I was asked by several of the seniors within our district. They saw how I was engaged in Metro Council meetings, speaking to our elected officials about the things that we need in the district and how we were being ignored. I've heard from them how they feel neglected, and they asked me in 2022, I had to say no. They came back and asked me again, and I gladly accepted the challenge to be able to run for the seat, to fight for the working class people, the most vulnerable in our district, to bring services that we need. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Wallace Glenner III, and I was born and raised here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm a veteran of foreign wars, 23 years in the Air Force. I'm a veteran of another foreign war, 23 years teaching in JCPS. I am running for Metro Council District 5 because there are certain needs, and I feel I can fit the need. I'm a businessman, and in business, you look at marketing, and then you decide what you're going to put in that area. And so I feel that I can fit certain needs that our area needs, and I've done a lot of marketing in this area, and I believe I'm the one that can bring to District 5 exactly what they need as we move into the future.
Good evening. My name is Ray Sir Friendly C. Barker, and I'm running for the simplest reason. I love my community, and I love you guys. I'm running to set an example of what a servant leader looks like. You know, you can't help a community unless you love that community, and I'll be a shining light of what that love looks like through leadership.
Good evening. I am Councilwoman Donna Purvis, and I am running again for the third term, seeking re-election to finish the job that I have started. I have been an advocate for seniors. I have sponsored programs to have low-income seniors with housing needs. I've been an advocate for the youth, as I am also a substitute teacher at Breckenridge Metro. I lend my public services to anyone that is in need. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm Councilwoman Dr. Paula McCraney, and I am originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm not a lifelong resident here, but I'm a lifelong lover of people and the things that we care about in my district, particularly and throughout this community. I represent District 7. It is almost a perfect square where it encompasses Shelbyville Road and Brownsboro Road, and on the other side, Goose Creek to Hubbard's Lane, and anything in between. The beauty of District 7 is it has 19 suburban cities. And so it makes a challenge in that the Louisville Metro government dollars can't necessarily fund things that are happening in the districts of St. Matthews, Windy Hills, and some of the other suburban cities that I have, but I found partnerships that allow me to use some of our funding to help with the sidewalks and street repairs and things like that. I'm looking forward to speaking more about what I do on Metro Council, but to conclude about me, I'm a business owner. I own a small boutique vendor style where I go throughout the country and sell my jewelry, and I make hats and fascinators.
Thank you. For our first question tonight, what are the top 2 or 3 issues facing your district now, and how would you like to address these issues? So let's start with Dr. McCraney and then go back around the table.
So if you've ever driven Shelbyville Road or Brownsboro Road and anywhere in that particular area, East Jefferson County, you understand that construction is everywhere. It's going on everywhere. And I have in my district being built the VA hospital. So one of my priorities certainly is to see the construction through to the end and help ease the pain for some of the business owners who are affected by some of the traffic woes. And infrastructure is always an issue in my district, so that's my top priority. Safety is also an issue. We have the 19 districts. 3 of them have their own police departments, so I work closely with them to make sure safety is number 1.
In representing District 5, one of my top issues is infrastructure. Our district has been disinvested for so many years. I am proud and comfortable working with an administration that hears me, that helps me. I have partnered with other departments such as code enforcement, public works, to make sure that we can deliver to the constituents and making sure that streets are being cleaned, alleys are being cleaned. My eyes can't be everywhere, but I do depend on the community to work with me, let me know what the needs are. I'm very responsive either through social media, through email, or through phone calls. So that is my number 1 top thing. The other one is I like to see us have the amenities that we see in the other part of the city. Our neighborhoods are up and coming. They're going through a rebirth period. And I think in order to accommodate the people that are coming to our neighborhoods is no longer being you looked at as a low-income neighborhood. So I think we need the same amenities that they have in the other part of the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me just say before you answer your next question, if it's easier to take the mic off and hold it instead of passing the stand, it's okay to do that. So if you want to take the mic off the stand, that's fine.
Thank you so much. My top 2 is crime. As a retired police officer, I can help this community that I live in by better relationship with the police. And because I live in a hard neighborhood, my criminals in this community know me and respect me. I can make inroads in getting some things done. The second one is our youth violence. You know, it's no secret that hurt people, but hurt people can also be healed. And by taking a position of healing our young people and finding out why they're hurting, I think I can stop some of the youth violence in my community.
One of the top issues we have in our community is cleanliness of our community. And we have to clean up our community. We have to treat it like it's our house. And when we want company to come over, we clean our house. Well, our community is our house. And before anyone moves here with grocery stores or anything, businesses, we have to make sure that our community is clean again, the alleys. The transitional houses have to be addressed, especially the illegal ones. And also, we need to deal with houses that have been abandoned and cars that are abandoned. Once we do that, then we can begin to grow this community back to the way it was 40 years ago when we first moved down here.
The biggest issue that we have in District 5 is our leadership. And I am not giving you my opinion. I am telling you what I'm hearing while I'm knocking doors. The residents are tired of feeling neglected when they are asking simple questions around crime, trash, and pollution. One of the seniors was at the forum on Monday and presented a question about sewer smells coming in to her house. I was able to speak with her afterwards, and she said she presented that question at the forum because she could not get a response from our leadership. And I was able to help her get connected with the people to help her get the answers that she needs. So I'm already taking lead on issues that matter.
As we all know, there are a multitude of issues that face District 5 specifically, but to answer the question, it relates to the 2 or 3. Safety is a huge concern. Whether you're 8 or 80, you want to be able to walk to the grocery store or to the bus stop without fear of violence or some type of crime against you. So safety is right at the top of the list. Economic development, this District 5 has been detached from the rest of the city as it relates to funds and resources, so that's something that's very important. And then the last one, which kind of ties into part 2, or section 2, is the food insecurity. Because right now, as we know, in District 5, there are 2 main grocery stores, well, 1 main grocery store, which is technically the Kroger in Portland. The Kroger on Broadway is technically not in District 5, although a lot of our folks utilize that one. So those are my top 3.
Okay, the top issues facing District 3 are just as unique as District 3 is. District 3 goes from Algonquin Parkway down to Rockford Lane, over from Taylor Boulevard to Cane Run Road, and kind of in and out of some crevices. Our issues are our identity, being separated from the other areas that make up our district. Right now, we're included in with West Louisville, although we're not West Louisville. So the monies that are dedicated to West Louisville never make it to us. The monies that are dedicated for South Louisville never make it to us. So we need economic development and business growth. We need a new library. Right now, we have 30,000 visits to our library where kids are sitting on the floor. All of this, economic development with money for small business, things for our children and our schools, all also lead to better roadways. We need roadway safety. One day last week, we had 4 accidents in our district, or adjacent to our district. So those are the safety issues I have.
Well, as a school teacher, I know that you're not able to teach these students unless they have a fundamental Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which says that in order to do anything, you have to eat. So that's our number one thing. My number one thing is that District 3 doesn't have a grocery store. something related for the people. Southland Terrace, Kroger closed down over 6 years ago, and there has been attempts to try to replace it, but there hasn't been a real unique effort. So that's why I'm teaming up with folks at Metro Council right now, the Urban League and other folks, to try to address that situation. Number two is that we really need, once we get this economic drive and getting businesses in the neighborhood, then we have a workforce development that has to fill that. So we have to really go ahead and start making mentor programs for these kids, because a lot of times out of mind is the devil's playground. So when you see that, and you see that the kids don't have anything to do and activities, they have to take activities outside of our district, we need to rectify that, bring activities in. So that's why I'm getting ready to be quiet, because I'm on zero.
Thank you all. If elected, what would be your plan of action for your first 100 days? And I guess we can just start here. We can go back there.
In my first 100 days, the first thing I have to do is, what we did when I was in Metro Council in 2023, I hired an individual whose sole duty was really to go around the district and clean up the area, like the good brother said down there. Very important to have our district looking good. So I'm gonna have to have someone in that position. I also had a student intern when I was in Metro Council who did the job of making sure that we had sidewalks and lighting connecting our schools in our district to the neighborhood, because we see what happens when we don't have correct lighting for these children. We just had an accident on Cane Run leading to the death of one of our students, and we have to really correct that. There are just too many things that we deal with. I'm going to be, like I said before, connecting with a lot of different organizations to get this fresh foods in our neighborhoods, connecting with different businesses to get our model together, because we really want to get, the problem with the grocery stores is that we have too many, I'm on zero again? Man, this goes by quick.
Okay, so during my first 100 days, the first thing I want to do is to get acclimated with the job. Policies and procedures. I'm an HR person, and so I want to see what are the policies, procedures, and requirements from within Metro Council. I know from the outside what our community complains about. I know what I've complained about. So I want to see why is there such a stoppage behind the scenes. The second thing I want to do is start coming up with a strategic plan for the first 4 years of my first term with things that the community has asked me to do, things that the community has brought to me, or things that they have brought up. I've got a list, including working on our second grocery store. We do have one grocery store in D3. However, it is not enough to service 32,000 people. We need to get a second one on the other side of D3. The third thing that I would do is making sure that my support staff is hired, vetted, and that they share the goals of our residents and my vision for our district. Thank you.
Within the first 100 days of being in the D5 council seat, I would like to begin to foster a better working relationship with the residents of that district and Louisville Metro Police Department. And what that looks like in my eyes are the police department. The police officers actually walking the beat, and that's something that we've discussed in previous events. But that's something that's missing within this area is the police do not know the residents and the residents do not know the police. Secondly, I would like to obviously get involved with policy development that will propel District 5 forward. Lighting, there are a lot of dimly lit areas in District 5, and as we know, dimly lit areas is a recipe for crime. Alley cleanup, which is important. I'm in the West all the time, some of the alleys look atrocious. And lastly, an environmental evacuation plan in the event of a disaster. We don't currently have a plan, and we definitely need one.
In the first 100 days, I will build a solid team to work with to roll out the District 5 Prep Academy. And the reason I see this very important to do first is because we've all discussed how much our youth do not have opportunities. I want to make sure that we're providing them with opportunities and that we're looking at them to make sure that they have what they need. The District 5 Prep Academy will serve grades 3 through 12, and I'm currently working with U of L interns and therapists to create the curriculum. And in that curriculum, it will address mental health issues, community empowerment, and civic engagement. It also focuses on belonging. So instead of pushing them out of the community and ostracizing them, making them feel that they are the problem, we want to include them and help them to feel like they are a part of our community.
During the first 100 days, you have to take step by step. The first 100 days need to be divided into different things. But my first 100 days, I want to meet with stakeholders and put together advisory boards for each problem that we have, because what I've been saying all along is that the people own the area because they're the boss. And so with them being the boss, I want the stakeholders to be able to make decisions. And I will meet with stakeholders, advisory boards, every month. And we'll have advisory boards for every problem that is going on. As far as transitional houses, cars left unattended. We're gonna also look to investigate the ordinances. The ordinances are outdated, so we need to update them to meet the needs of the people in District 5. Those things will take place in the first 100 days. Thank you.
In my vision, the 100 days starts the day I raised my hand and said I wanted to be a candidate. So I'm solving problems right now. But once I take the office, I agree, I must learn my policies and procedures. No one goes into a new job knowing everything. And once I familiarize myself with the rules that I must follow, then we will categorize what immediate actions need to be taken throughout the district.
As I explained earlier, it's no secret that I do substitute teach at Breckenridge Metro. I go to that school by choice. Those children there are thirsty for love and for knowledge. I talk to them, I counsel them every day that I go there. You know, some of the kids are telling me they don't want to live a life of crime, but they have parents at home that don't care. Sometimes when you meet kids, you meet who's at home. I cannot imagine being a parent of a child that goes out and commits a murder, that goes out and robs people, all to get attention from that parent. I am working with these kids. I will continue to work with them within my first 100 days of being reelected. Thank you.
Well, my first 100 days will be my 3,000th day in office, and so I will continue to do what I've been doing, but specifically, the Veterans Hospital will be opening that year. And so it is my task to make sure that everything surrounding that area is taken care of as far as the road work is concerned. There will also be a 520-unit apartment complex that's being built on her lane. So I want to make sure I work directly with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet to make sure everything is in place by the time the VA hospital opens.
Thank you. Before we continue, I just want to remind audience members that if you have questions that you would like to be considered, please raise your hand and our ushers will provide you with a pen and an index card, and also take up your card once you have it written. We actually already have a couple of questions from the audience that I would like to address. So one is, as Metro Council members must work with other council members, the mayor's office, and city departments to get things done, how would you navigate that system to advocate for an issue affecting your district? Should I read it again? Okay. Metro council members must work with other council members, the mayor's office, and city departments to get things done. How would you or how have you navigated that system to advocate for an issue affecting your district?
Well, first of all, you need to introduce yourself and let people know what your values are. And once they understand that and they know that you're serious about this job, then, and it is a job, it's not a career that you can take lightly. You need to establish rapport with everyone. Call the mayor, introduce yourself, make sure he understands your values. And you need to have a plan of action so that when you talk to these stakeholders, the people in office, the people who are in these departments, they understand clearly that you mean business.
I like to ditto what Councilwoman McCraney said, but also, unfortunately, in my first term, we had a lot of gatekeepers that worked in the mayor's administration that refused to deliver to the district on our behalf. When that happens, you have to remind the mayor that we are there working for the people. If there's a problem with delivering to the constituents, making sure that things are done the way that they're supposed to be done, you need to have a serious conversation with the mayor about how do you plan to rectify this problem and move forward so that we can do what we need to do for the people.
You know, when it comes to building a relationship, that's a personality that you already got to have. You have to be approachable. I'm not even in the seat, and yet half the council know who I am. I've been approached and talked to by Republicans and Democrats, and I love that. That accessibility is what you need to build relationships, so I'm very accessible.
I think we all agree that accessibility with their colleagues at City Hall is definitely needed. On the first day, we want to build relationships with and be able to reach across the aisle, because no one does this by themselves. No one Metro Council person can do the things that need to be done in their district by themselves. And so we need to reach across the aisle and also work with your own constituency and work with the Metro Council members in your caucus. Once that's done, then you'll be able to move out and they'll know that you're serious about what you're doing. It's a serious job. You can still have fun doing it because you want to have fun doing it, because you'll get bored. And you don't want to get bored and stagnated with this. And you, once again, involving the stakeholders, the people. It's the people's place. District 5 belongs to the people because they are the boss.
This is a great question, whoever asked it. I really appreciate this. As far as the current mayoral administration, you know, I have received very warm welcomes and a lot of appreciation for running. And I do think that has a lot to do with the fact that I have secured the endorsement of the Louisville Democratic Party over the incumbent, which we never see that happening. And so that says a lot. It says that I am willing and ready to work with the people who are there, but also I'm diplomatic. I don't have bad relationships with the Republicans that are currently seating. I've had conversations with Krista Bass. I've had conversations with Mary Woolridge, and I continue to have open conversations because I understand that in order to get something done, you have to work together.
What the other panelists said has made a lot of sense to me. I am a person that has the ability to work well with folks from all walks of life, rich, poor, young, old, regardless of Democratic, Republican. I just have that ability to be able to connect with everyone. And so, if elected, it would be my responsibility to present a forward-facing council person that's going to be firm yet fair. Yeah, so it's just important that you work well with others, and that's something that I do very well.
For me, I'm a collaborator. All of my volunteer work, all of the things that I've done in the past with all my organizations, I've had to collaborate. means working across the aisle. It means working with people of different socioeconomic statuses. I've always been taught, my mom has always told me that you treat people from the streets to the boardroom the same, you respect them the same, and you value their opinion and their background the same. And that's the way I am. So yes, introducing myself, making sure that they understand the values that I come with, but more importantly, the values that my district comes with and the things that are important to my district. So just like everyone said, you know, opening that across the aisle talk, being engageful, but let's not get it twisted. I am okay being the spear in front of my community. I stood up for the NIA Center. I stood against TIF that snuck in, which was my own party, sneaking in organizations. So I will do both.
Yeah, my record is really just proven. When I was on Metro Council, and after I left Metro Council, many folks on Metro Council have encouraged me to run this race on the Democrat side and the Republican side, also in the mayoral administration. So I get along well with folks in all different acts of life. When I was on Metro Council, we passed 2 pieces of legislation. One was a resolution that would allow our city workers to have flexible hours because JCPS was going through a whole lot of bus debacles, and that passed flawlessly. We also created another ordinance, the anti-neighborhood displacement ordinance that passed on November 9, 2023, which was passed unanimously by Metro Council, which would allow the community and families to take control of their own neighborhoods and decide what developers come into your neighborhood to make sure that we're not pricing our people out of the homes that they grew up in. So that's very important. And like I said, it passed unanimously, first of its kind in the country.
Thank you. Another audience question is, what would your legislative priorities be?
First step is to continue on the path that I just laid out about the anti-neighborhood displacement ordinance. Even though we passed it unanimously, the next step for Metro Council was to create some sort of metric that would be used to make sure that neighbors did get that opportunity to meet, collaborate, decide what businesses come in. But there are some tweaks in there that weren't seen at the time. For example, a lot of developers come in and they building apartments and places to rent, and they got folks doing some sort of oversight on that. We need to tighten that oversight up too. But the actual law at this point prohibits a lot of folks who like Habitat for Humanity, Fuller Center for Housing in Louisville, that actually places people in homes for places people in homes. You know, the bill doesn't really protect them and doesn't really allow them to have homes in the neighborhood, a lot of homes in the neighborhood. So a lot of these businesses are kicked out, and we got to tweak that.
I have several legislative priorities. The first, to kind of piggyback on what Kumar said, is we need to have a policy that defines affordable housing. We have developers that talk about affordable housing, but it's not really affordable for the neighborhood that they're building in, or they will label 1 or 2 units affordable when the rest are sky high. So that's the first thing we need to do. I think we all understand that when you have liquor in your neighborhood and in your community, that at a certain point, there's a tipping point and you have oversaturation. So we really need to look at what other states and other cities have done, is to limit the number of liquor stores based on mileage. And we also need to really look at the dollars that we are putting back into the community from our Metro Council and from the mayor's office based on the number of kids that we have. I talked about the library earlier. The libraries around us have been redone. However, we see more kids, and they expect us to do more with less.
We definitely have a need for affordable housing in District 5 because a lot of our folks are getting priced out. You can just look around the neighborhoods and you see that and the neighborhood is changing. So we definitely want to make sure that we're maintaining the integrity of the original neighborhoods by not outpricing folks who've been there all their lives. I spoke about this earlier, the emergency evacuation plan from an environmental standpoint. That's something that has to get on the books because right now we don't have a plan, and that's something that is important to me. And then lastly, putting a policy in place that will protect our most vulnerable populations during extreme heat and extreme cold as it relates to LG&E, because when it's, literally lives could be saved if we have some policies around that.
My main goal is to be a stronger voice of democracy in our lives, and the way that I will go about doing that is to first create the District 5 Advisory Board that will have committees along with the District 5 Prep Academy, but to also instill consistent town halls in our communities where I can gather the input of people in the district and take that back to City Hall to advocate for what we want to see in the district. We need to make sure that there's funding from the city budget that will go into our community centers that have no programming now. We want to bring those programs back. And then we also want to make sure that we have funding for our public libraries. And so this is what we need to have a thriving district that is important to me.
Repeat the question, please.
What would your legislative priorities be?
First, revisit the ordinances. They're outdated. And in order for us to do the job that needs to be done in our district, we have to revisit the ordinances and update them in order to get anything done. I want to clean up District 5. And like I said earlier, you want to clean up your house before you invite company over. But District 5 is our house. And so we have to beautify it once again. Now, priorities, illegal transitional houses. That's one priority. Cars abandoned, people parking on easements. All those things are in the ordinances, but people are not following it. So it's going to be a tough road for people who are doing that, but they're going to have to buy into it in order for us to have District 5 the way it needs to be. And so that's my plan as far as legislative is concerned.
To me, any legislative plan that improves the quality of life for the people in my district, I'm gonna be for it. Right now, Mr. Hernan has got legislation where we're trying to take control over gun control. He's probably gonna lose that, but I'm one of his cheerleaders on the side because that's a common sense legislation. So anytime we talk about legislation that improves the quality of life, you can expect that out of my office.
I wanted to mention, as part of the illegal transitional task force, legislation was drafted and I sponsored, and it was passed through the council to add on additional criteria for homes to become legal to operate as transitional houses. I will continue to go to BOZA, Board of Zoning Adjustment, to speak against these proposed houses. Every case that I have gone to speak against these houses on behalf of the nearby neighbors, I have been successful in getting those properties denied. I will continue to do that. And my other piece is I would like to work on procurement to make sure that everyone has business opportunities with the city of Louisville. Not only the rich companies, but men, women, young, old, white, black, handicapped, disabled, everyone should have an opportunity to do business with the city of Louisville, and that is the piece that I plan to work on. Thank you.
I wrote the legislation for the Citizens Review Board. And out of that legislation, I also wrote in, for the first time in Louisville's history, the Inspector General's position. And I also wrote legislation that had something to do with domestic violence in animals. And that legislation stated that if there's a call about abuse of an animal, the police department must inspect further into the home, because there's a direct correlation that if there's abuse of an animal, there's 9 times out of 10 abuse in the home for a human. So what I want to do in my last term, it would be my 3rd term, is to look at legislation surrounding domestic violence and safety.
Thank you. How would you handle the budget? The mayor has one agenda and the council has may have a different agenda. So how would you handle the budget?
As we always handle the budget, we wait for the mayor to present it in April, then we come together and we look at all of the priorities for every district. Every district should get something out of that budget, and if the mayor's budget does not reflect the values that we have in our own district, then we have to advocate heavily for what our district needs. So I will not ever not advocate for what District 7 needs. I understand all the other districts and their needs, and I fight for them as well, but I'm gonna always get something in the budget for District 7.
I have to agree with Councilwoman McCraney as well. Last year, I was very fortunate to advocate for projects in District 5, Simmons College at Westover, One West, Portland Museum, Russell Place of Promise, the up-and-coming Shiny Outdoor Learning Center. I was very, very blessed, but you know, it takes a lot of persuasion. You also have to convince your colleagues that these are things that are needed in your district. So I continue to fight for my district in the budget as well. I'm also asking for additional funding for infrastructure changes, curbs and alleys to be paved. So I will always, as Councilwoman McCraney said, fight for my district's needs in the budget.
For a job that I don't have yet, in my first 100 days, you heard me say I will learn this part. But as a part of my experience, I sat on the executive board of the Kentucky Lottery, and we put that budget together of over $1 billion. We're talking about the entire state of Kentucky. So I have these skills already filed in my head and ready to go to work.
Once again, when you're dealing with a great amount of money, and each district, don't get me wrong, each district needs something different, but yet many districts need the same. In our district, we need to beautify it in order to get other things done. Once you get it beautified, then it becomes safer. When it becomes safer, then the police officers will do what you need them to do. And the kids who are running rampant may not run rampant because they see a clean area. Rodents, they go to dirty areas and they continue to fester there. Once we clean it up, we will be able to have an area where less gang activity. Didn't say no gang activity, but less, because the gang members will see, well, maybe I sign on to this area and help get it clean, because they are members and stakeholders of the community.
I think that my fight is a fight that should be really very simple, but unfortunately, District 5 has been an underserved district for quite some time, which lets me know that the fight has not been loud enough, the fight has not been hard enough to get the services that we need. And so some of the things that I would definitely fight for would be, again, community-centered programs that should be in our community centers already. But when you go to Shawnee Community Center, you're not going to be able to see any programming because there is none there. I would also fight to invest in public spaces, such as our libraries, our healthcare centers, and I would also have a lot of fight for our, the way that I want to say it is harm reduction sites. Oh, I didn't see the first site, sorry. Harm reduction sites is another one that we don't have.
All right, so as it relates to the budget, obviously I have not sat on the council yet, so I don't know all the ins and outs of how it works, but as a council person, you have one responsibility, and that's to propel your district forward, and that's something I'm very serious about. Working as a Metro Council person, two of my main objectives would be to find funding for, to close that food insecurity gap, because again, that everybody who lives in the city knows it's easier to get a firearm than it is to get an apple in District 5, and that's something that we can eliminate immediately. In addition to that, we're unhealthy. We have a lot of avoidable illnesses, diabetes, hypertension, etc. And I would advocate as a council person to have fiscal resources allocated to help having a healthier District 5.
I think many of you all may know me from the news with the fight with the NIA Center. So one of the first things that I would want to do as we look at the budget for the city is we need to start with an audit. I, from the outside looking in as a resident, don't understand where a lot of this money is going. And I don't understand why there isn't more education of our community to understand the system. We do not have to rubber stamp the mayor's budget. The mayor is in the executive branch, Metro Council is the legislative branch, and as people have said, we wait for the mayor's budget, he gives us to it, and then we review it. But you're given a small amount to review. And so we really need to take that control back, because as everyone has said, each district needs different things. Our job as council people is to advocate for our district, but there's some things that all districts should have. You should have a community center. You should have safe roadways. So that's what I would do with the budget.
I think the first step of reacting to the budget or creating the budget is really getting the community together and get community input on what they want the budget to be. That's number one. We got to do that. We also have to look at what's already in the budget and what's being budgeted, because there are a lot of companies, a lot of organizations who get a lot of money from Metro Council, and we got to hold them all accountable for the money that they get. Sometimes it's just they've been there so long that we're not even really questioning, are they really doing the work? Is the work getting done? And we have to really just make sure that these folks are getting their work done. You know, there's a lot of money that we could be receiving, but we're giving a whole lot of tax breaks to so many different companies. And even those tax breaks, sometimes they're supposed to sunset at a certain time or fall off, but a lot of times they don't, and nobody's checking on that, and then they're just getting money year after year. So we got to really engage our community with the budget. We got to really sit down, get our priorities, and help out those organizations that are really trying to help out our neighborhoods.
Thank you. So I think we have time for 2 more questions. So one is, what are your plans to ensure your constituents have access to you? What are your plans to be accountable and transparent? What are your plans to ensure your constituents have access to you? What are your plans to be accountable and transparent?
Absolutely. Access to me. I definitely have set up office hours. People, I give my cards out to everyone. Most people have my number when they meet me. The different activities, a lot of community forums we're gonna have to do. When I was on Metro Council, we did a lot of community forums. We also did a lot of activities that came to the community. Cops and Cones for Kids. We did International Day in Gutter Move. We did educational block party at Taylor Berry Park in collaboration with then Councilman Philip Baker. That really, we brought books and from the public library, and book bags that were given to us from LMPD. We had goats and horses and different entrepreneurs who looked like the community residents that were teaching these kids about entrepreneurship right there in the park. First of its kind, hasn't happened since.
What are your plans to ensure your constituents have access to you?
And just straight transparency, I'm just an open book, you know, at any point in time, you know, I'm going to vote for the people. I had an opportunity when I talked to the mayor and some folks at one point, and we were asking for money to get grocery stores in our area. And for me, I think that they wanted me to trade off and have me vote on a $15 million mental health facility for the police officers on Eastern Parkway. My constituents said no to that. I said no. We don't have a grocery yet.
There are several ways that I want to engage with the community and keep them abreast and keep them involved in how I vote and how I represent them. One is to expand the current District 3 Advisory Board. I want to make sure that we have seats that are dedicated for youth and dedicated for our senior citizens. Right now, we're operating like it's a bell-shaped curve district. We're really concentrating on those in the middle, and we're not engaging our youth or our senior citizens. And those are some of the most vulnerable populations. So I want to make sure that I have engagement from them, even if that means having some of those meetings at a senior living facility or at, you know, a bingo hall, those types of things. The second thing is making sure to have an office and hours in our district. Not everyone can come down to Metro Hall at 6th Street, especially with the buses being stopped. And then the third thing is making sure that we're using technology so that people can have access to me either through Facebook or other social media means.
Before I decided to put my name in the race, like I said, I've lived in the West for a very long time, and I've called my council person, which is when I lived in the previous district, I called my council person, I could like maybe 10 times over the years for various reasons. And I never recall once receiving a return call or a return email or any kind of follow-up. So one of the things that I intend to do is, even if it's the answer you don't want to hear, I'm going to have a very strong legislative aid, and that person is going to ensure that they either hear back from me or you'll get a call back or some kind of correspondence back. That's one. Two, not ducking the tough questions. Y'all gonna ask questions, and people in the community are gonna ask questions that you may be uncomfortable with, but you know, part of this is a voluntary job. Nobody's forcing us to be here, so we have to answer the tough questions. And then lastly, whether it's a community sanctioned event or not, I'm going to be visible in the community. You're gonna see me at the Y, you're gonna see me at Crow, you're gonna see me at Chickasaw Park. So sometimes people get in these roles and they isolate themselves, and I'm not gonna do that.
One of the reasons that I was asked to run for this seat is because I'm already very visible in the community, and I plan to maintain that. So a lot of the things that you already see me at out in the community events, community fairs, neighborhood association meetings, showing up for seniors at Elder Serve, doing empowerment workshops. I will continue to do those things as the capacity allows, but I also will spend the first 100 days in the district trying to establish a satellite office so that I am more accessible to people who do not have transportation to get to City Hall. And then also just making sure I build effective, healthy relationships. The same way I'm knocking doors campaigning now, you will also see me doing that once I am elected, because that's how you continue building those healthy relationships when you go and check on people.
Before I ran, I was just settled in not running. Didn't decide to run until October. And then I did a little marketing as a business person should and see what the needs of the people were. And I felt that I was the one that could provide the needs. You have to do it in an organizational type way. Like I said, the advisory boards, I would have an advisory board for almost every entity because we have 30,000 people in District 5. And so we just can't have a few people, you know, being involved. I would involve all the stakeholders. And that means multiple advisory boards. And they would meet monthly with people. And then I would meet with the advisory boards about the needs of the people and see what's going on. Because we have a lot of work to do, and we can't take this lightly. This is serious, people. There are West Louisvilles in every major city, and I would travel to other cities to see how they're handling it.
To me, my two superpowers is accessibility. For Dr. Martin Luther King's celebration, as important as that was, I was the only one there to help him that. We had an ancestor that was honored with a street signing. I was there. I'm very accessible. When it comes to church or at the club, maybe Joe Palmer, you will see me there because I'm relatable. People need to be able to relate to their council person. And when it comes to a disagreement, I love disagreement. We're gonna talk it out. But sometimes we have to agree to disagree.
I currently have office hours on Wednesdays. I go to Kroger once a month just to talk to people. Portland Kroger, which is in District 5. I engage with my constituents through my newsletter. I do porch meetings. I do any meeting. Neighbors call me, I go to their houses. I go to their backyards. If you've called me more than 10 times, surely you would have seen me at one of these events. On the porch, at Kroger, my office. So I am currently engaging with my constituents, and I intend to continue to engage with my constituents.
Yes, I will continue going to our homeowner association meetings. We have over 30 of them in the district. I will continue to attend the districts that have the monthly meetings. They're called home rule cities, and I have 19 of those. So I try to rotate my time in their committee meetings. I will continue to issue a weekly newsletter. I will continue to have a monthly or sometimes bi-monthly Muffins with McCraney meeting in the district. And I also have what is called Mingle with McCraney, where people host me in their homes, call their neighbors, and we just chit-chat in the evening. So I will continue doing all those things. They know who I am and how to get me, and I personally call people back.
Thank you. So for our last question, why should voters trust you with this responsibility?
They need to continue trusting me. And I'm gonna tell you something, the first time I ran, it was in 2018, and no one thought I could win. It's a 92% white district, and when I was trying to get people to rally around me and to help with fundraising, they would say, oh, bless your heart, because they just didn't believe that I could win, but I did. When I won, someone in the district, a rich white man, said to me, I know why you ran. I know now why you won the election. And I thought he was gonna say, because you had yard signs everywhere. I thought he was going to say, because your material showed your experience. He didn't say either of those things. What he said to me was, I know now why you won, and I believe it's because the District 7 residents did not know you were Black. He said the quiet part out loud. So what that showed me was there's still work to be done in this community as far as race relationships go. And so my second term was more sweet because I knew they knew I was Black then.
Why should voters trust you with this responsibility?
I think voters should continue to trust me because I'm very effective. I'm quiet about what I do. I'm not braggadocious. I'm not having a podium in the backseat of my car. I'm not sitting in the middle of Broadway beating my chest. I believe that the right hand should never know what the left hand does. I am about the people's business. I'm not here to put anyone down, as I've had jabs taken at me. That doesn't interest me. What interests me is taking care of the people. And so that's why people should trust me, because I am here to work for them. I'm not here to tear anyone down. I'm not here to throw shade at anyone. My focus is on the people, and it will continue to be.
They should trust me, one, because I'm a true believer. I didn't say I was anything other than that. That means I believe in the teaching of Jesus, and I exercise this in a daily life. 20 years of being a police officer, I never compromised that badge. You can't find any negative thing about Officer Barker because it's not true. As a matter of fact, I'm a trailblazer. Before we had community-oriented policing, you had a friendly cop that went into neighborhoods and told kids it's okay not to be violent, it's okay not to take drugs. And now what do we have later? We have a whole police force that's concentrated on delivering a message of being a friendly police officer, and these are the same traits I would take to this office.
I should be trusted with this responsibility simply because of my background. I'm not in office now, even though I have performed certain duties that the Metro Council office has done, or should do, and will continue to do until I'm elected. My background, it gets me involved, and I worked on the campaign of Bill Clinton in 1992 when he ran for president. I worked for Senator Gerald Neal on his campaign, Reginald Meeks on his campaign, and the mayor, Greg Fisher, on his campaign. So I have a lot of experience with this. Also, my background in education. I have a transportation and logistical degree, associate. I have a bachelor's of science in early elementary education, a bachelor's of science in communication from Spalding, and a master's degree from U of L, and 6 hours towards a doctorate. So what does that say? That says I'm not going to stop until the job is done.
So I believe that trust is to be earned and never given. And I have received the endorsement of the Louisville Democratic Party because they no longer trust who we have in the seat. I was able to do that while being an endorsed candidate of the Louisville DSA as well. And the reason I bring that up is because these two organizations rarely work together. But because I have been able to earn their trust, they saw it fit for me to come together and work together to make sure that I am in this seat. And so I hope that I have said something tonight or over the course of this campaign that will earn your trust and the rest of our district as well. I believe that I'm doing a good job because we've had over 500 people now that have requested April Hearn for Metro Council yard signs.
Okay, so as we close out, I just want you all to know, the folks that don't know me, I'm a very direct person. I'm black and white. What you see is what you get. I'll be accessible to the residents. I will not be in a bubble. I will not be in a cocoon. You'll see me out and about. I also have a very strong business background. I own a life insurance brokerage firm, and I also have over 20 years of social services experience, emphasis on working with justice-involved youth. So District 5 needs some new blood. There's no other way to slice it. On May 19th, I humbly ask that you guys get out and vote for Dave Duncan. Thank you.
I believe I'm already a trusted community leader. People in my district and districts next to or adjacent to my district already trust me. As Ms. Donna said, talking about awards or being braggadocious, I don't want to do that. However, I have received awards from the Louisville Defender for my community service. I have received awards from the Louisville Central Community Center for my community service. I've even received the Zeta Phi Beta Image Award for my community service. I'm receiving another award in a couple weeks for my community service around my efforts with exploited children. I've already done the work to earn their trust. I will continue to do their work to earn the trust. They trust me so much that just 3 weeks ago, businesses talked to me about starting another business association in our district because the previous ones have been defunct for a while.
So I will continue to do what I do, be a representative and a voice for those that can't, and to make sure our district gets what we deserve.
According to the Kentucky Center for Economic Policy, the two most trusted professions are teachers and union leaders. I'm a proud union member. I've been endorsed by the unions of Better Schools Kentucky, been endorsed by the unions of the firefighters department, been endorsed by the Louisville Democratic Party. I've been endorsed by the Greater Louisville Central Labor Council, which is a collaboration of almost all the unions across the city. You know, I get the job done. I told you a lot of my accomplishments when I was on Metro Council, and that was in a short 9-month period because I was filling a term. I get the job done in everything I do. I was chosen out of 300 teachers to be the Kentucky High School Teacher of the Year because I get the job done. You know, this is nothing that I take lightly. I think that the people should absolutely trust me because as a neighborhood association president for 4 years, I've had a lot of communications with other neighborhood associations, and we got a lot of things done.
I would like to welcome and acknowledge candidate Jeree Gardner from District 1. Thank you for being able to join us tonight. I want to give you the chance to answer the last question, which is why should voters trust you with this responsibility?
Okay, thank you. Voters can trust me because I've already been doing this work. A little bit about me, I've worked in social services for 15 plus years. I have an undergrad in criminal justice. I have 17 hours towards my master's in social work. I have worked with the community as far as a holistic approach. I've worked with the adults. I've worked with children. I've been a child protective social worker. I have worked in the jails. So I am very aware of where we need help at with mental health crisis, with people that suffer from unhoused, people that suffer from substance use issues. So I've already been doing the work. I serve this community on the front lines. I understand the challenges firsthand, and I lead with integrity and accountability. I'm not running for a title or just to be seen. I am running to serve and to be responsible and be held accountable. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, candidates. Thank you. That's our forum, so thank you. I do want to say thank you to each of our candidates for participating tonight and for your willingness to serve our community. We just appreciate you being here. Running for office is not easy, and so thank you for your willingness to serve. Thank you as well to everyone who came out tonight. Again, local elections matter, and your presence here tonight reflects your commitment to the future of our community. Just a couple of closing items. One, we want to let you know that we do have voter registration tables out in the lobby, so you can go to the Zeta table that's in the lobby and you can register to vote if you are not registered. Also, if you need a ride to the polls, then you can go and visit the Amico table on the way out and sign up for a ride to the polls if you need that. And then also, there were more questions tonight than there was time, but we still want to be able to let the candidates know what your questions were. So we are going to gather the questions that weren't asked and still send them to the candidates so they can know the things that are on your heart. So again, thank you so much for coming out tonight on behalf of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Eta Zeta Chapter, and our partners, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Zeta Amica of Louisville, and the National Panhellenic Council. We thank you for joining us tonight. Please remember to stay informed and to participate in the upcoming election. Have a wonderful night and safe travels home. Thank you.
The people of Louisville deserve a mayor that will listen, that will offer opportunity, that will make sure the most marginalized get the resources they need. I'm here to tell you that I am the right choice because I've been working for you the whole time. I plan to be exactly who I campaigned to be. And every role I've taken in this city has been to serve and take care of people. On May 19th, this is too important for you to stay home. We need you to go vote for your future. Louisville, it is our chance to change the direction and to make it better. Louisville is better when we come together as community. Louisville, it's time.
This is brought to you by the people to elect Shamika Parrish Wright.
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
Hey y'all, I'm Attica Scott, former Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.
We will continue to provide updates as we have more information.
Former Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.